Thank you very much for the introduction. And yeah, I'm a refugee. Here I am, standing in front of you. I don't know how many of you are in active contact with refugees in your life. So 6 years ago this time, May 2009, if you had told me that in a month's time, my face and my photo would be on the front cover of the most reputable newspapers worldwide, or my face would be the breaking news of CNN, Fox News, Voice of America, BBC World, BBC Channel, I would say, cuckoo, get out of here. How come? I was an average person. I was a striving junior professor at Azad University in Iran. I had a passion from the time I was a little girl for languages. My dream was to speak English fluently, just like my uncle, which was back then an engineering student in Texas, United States. So I strived for that my whole life, and I was this close to what I had wished for and what I had really worked hard for. In 2009, I was a junior professor at the university, and my life was close to perfect. I had a very normal life, but it was good enough for me. I had a full-time employment, just what I had always dreamed of, to be teaching English and to be teaching literature. And then it happened. If you remember the 2009 presidential elections in Iran, there was a huge political unrest afterwards, and the results that were announced were hugely and immensely debated. And there were protests on the streets of Tehran and other cities in Iran that was covered all over the world. This was what the world wanted to see. The people of Iran standing up against the theocratic regime of their country and asking for their freedom. What happened during just these protests was that a girl with a similar name to that of mine, Neda Agha-Soltan, was shot to death on the streets of Tehran during one of these protests. Somebody filmed her tragic death on a mobile phone and posted it online within half an hour or an hour. I don't know, it went so quickly that nobody really knows that, online. And there was a frenzy, of course, because that death spoke for itself how tragic it was. And it was just, the media claims that it was the most watched death of a human being in history. There was a rush afterward to find a name and a face for that poor victim who was lying there on the ground on the streets of Tehran with blood pouring out all over her face. Somebody checked Facebook. Don't post photos on Facebook, just because, you know, what happened to me may not happen to you, but your future employer will definitely check Facebook for your photos. But what happened to me was that somebody, or people, I don't know, I assume journalists who were looking to identify that girl, started searching online, came across my profile, saw my photo, took it, and broadcast it as breaking news. This is the martyr. This is the face of Iran's freedom. I was having cake with a friend who had birthday. I had no idea that the world was buzzing around my name and my face. I was not political. I was not involved in just what was happening. This is not something I'm proud of, neither it is something that I am ashamed of. I did not even vote in that election for my personal reasons. That was my choice. But I woke up the next morning, I went home, had a good night's sleep, woke up the next morning and found 300 almost and incoming Facebook invitations, friend invitations from all over the world. Some of the names were so foreign to me that I could not even pronounce them. And I did not know what had happened. It took me a couple of more hours until I finally started to realize. I was in my office, so I really did not have access to searching and seeing what was happening. But I realized that something was seriously wrong here. And then the phone calls started coming in. Hey, how are you doing? I just saw your face on CNN. Are you all right? I was like, yeah. I went home and saw it for myself. And that's when my life tipped upside down. I basically lost everything in a matter of 12 days. I lost my family, I lost my job, I lost my roots, I lost my country. So being a refugee is not really something out of this world. I could never, ever in my life imagine that one day I will be a political refugee. What happened next was that I mean my friends and I, tried to attract the attention of the media that, guys, this is wrong. This photo does not belong to the deceased person. They did not care. That was breaking news. I even naively, I'm ashamed of accepting this, I sent a second photo to Voice of America Farsi channel. And I told them, look, this is the proof. I'm not faking it. I'm not fabricating a story. Compare these two photos and see for yourself that I'm telling the truth. This photo is mine. What did they do? They broadcasted the second photo as an exclusive photo of the martyr of revolution. My mom is still waiting to find the person who sent that photo. She doesn't know. And she does not speak English. I'm safe. So, moms, we tried to attract the attention of the media, and we couldn't, but we definitely succeeded in attracting the attention of the Iranian Secret Service. They came for me within 3 days, took me in, asked me to sit down in front of a camera and tell the biggest lie a person can say. I was supposed to say, this is me, I am her, this is my photo, you saw it everywhere. This is international, or let's say, Western propaganda against the Islamic Republic of Iran. So, what would you do? I knew it could have serious consequences for me, but I could not tell such a big lie and then look at my friends, my family, my students in the face for the rest of my life. So I said, do I have another choice? And of course I had another choice. I was charged with treason against the national security of my country. I was charged with espionage. They said, you speak excellent English. How come? I worked hard for it all my life. But that's not what they wanted to know. You either give them what they want or they will ruin you. And I did not want to accept that they will ruin me. So I said, no, thank you. I'm not doing that. I remember one of those guys told my mother, who accompanied me the first session to the interrogations, congratulations on your daughter. She's such a brave woman. My mom and I, in our naivete, were so proud. We thought, wow, here we are. We even impressed the, Secret Service agents. But that was the beginning of what they were planning for me. I came to a point within 12 days that I realized my life is at stake. This could really end terribly wrong. So within a matter of 12 days, I went from a silent scholar of English language and literature to a person who had to run away for her life. And quite shortly after that, I ended up being a political refugee here in Germany. I sought asylum in Germany in July 2009, so almost 6 years ago now. And I've been living the life of a refugee, what we hear a lot about these days. And what I have been thinking about just recently is that I am extremely lucky, not just because I survived that incident, not just because I had friends who put their own lives at stake to help me, but just because I did not drown off the coast of Lampedusa. It could have been me, and I'm telling you, it could be each one of us. What is interesting is that when we talk about refugees, I have, at least personally, the feeling that we are not just talking about humans who can stand here in front of you and tell them your story, tell them that in a human way, that here I am, this was my life, and this is my life. They are just figures, numbers, statistics that you hear on, that you see on TV or hear on the radio or read in the newspapers, nothing more than that. And that is something that I terribly find tragic. And I would like to think that you share that feeling with me as well, that what if you needed asylum and nobody wanted you and nobody helped you? Thank you.